bathtub when I take baths at night. So I'm gonna need you to like make sure you tell me that like, yeah, this is real. Like, because I don't want to be the cause of somebody killing themselves, and I got a mouth and I'm very sarcastic. So,
which is what we deal with, and I think a good person with humor that deals with his issues. Another reason why I asked you to come on, JP, J-Bo, is because of your morbid sense of humor. Your what the fuck did this dude just write? It gets me through my days. If I have a bad day, I read your shit, I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking killing me. Do you use, J-Bo, do you use humor to what's the word for it? Detract? Depression?
I use humor to distract. Because a lot of what I say, like, what's up, kiddo? Well, tell her there's 2 controllers, so you need one. Because a lot of the stuff I say is it's actually very blatantly honest, but I say it with the tone or just fuck up the wording a little bit, and that makes it funny.
I still have no idea what you're saying.
It does, right? But humor, this is a subject we touch a lot. Humor is a lot of how we go through stuff. We get through stuff because, like, I'll annoy her and tell her, some shit like, oh, you ain't getting that tonight, and she'll tell me, go kill yourself. Which I know she don't mean, but, you know, it comes across as funny, so. Like, it has its time and place, but if it's done with someone that actually needs something, then it's not time to play, you know? It's not an attention grabber. Shouldn't be anyways.
Right. If you honestly feel like you need to fucking kill yourself or attempt to kill yourself to get the attention from the loved ones that you think you have around you, you might want to start rethinking about what kind of love they're giving.
And actually, you know what? You're giving up, say, maybe 6 months of people really showing how much they miss you and cared for you for a lifetime of that when you kill yourself. You're missing out on the possibilities of a lifetime of love from these people and other people because you didn't give yourself a chance. Like, I will never take away anybody's right to do it. If you're going to do it, I get it. I understand. But am I going to talk you out of it?
Totally opposite. And I'm not one to sit there, like, I'll talk to somebody, but I go through this, and you know what? Like, if somebody's gonna kill themselves, then I know what they've been through. If they can't take it no more, then, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but I'm not gonna hate them because, you know what? I wouldn't want everybody to hate me because if I ever go out that way, it's because that's my last resort, and nothing can be fixed. So, and everybody knows what I've gone through. So I would hope that nobody would hate me if that's what I chose to do.
Absolutely. You know, our company, Gonzo Styles, as it is, and all its entities, it started from the Dr. Hunter Thompson. And in one of the things he wrote, I'm just going to paraphrase it because I'll get the quote wrong. He pretty much goes on to say that if he felt like he didn't have that right, he didn't feel like he didn't have that choice to kill himself, then it would pretty much lead him to kill himself.
At any moment, I would feel incredibly trapped.
Boom! Thank you. Direct quote, right?
That's as I remember it.
See, thank you. I was getting the gist, but you got it more to the point. Gotta love the fucking good old doctor. Who, by the way, did kill himself February 25th, 2003, I think. Which is a shame. Another great one we lost. Alright, any more comments on anything? Or are we gonna jump ahead and check out some other stuff?
Well, I'm gonna have to take off to go drop off my kid, but I have one thing I can say beforehand, before I have to leave everybody. I've been struggling with my mental health very, very poorly recently. As a matter of fact, it's only been a guaranteed thing that I wasn't gonna kill myself for like 2 to 3 weeks now. And the one thing that I did, these things that helped me and hopefully it helps someone else, is I started with very, very little things, like washing the dishes or taking the trash out, things that made me feel productive. I started talking to people again. I haven't talked to anybody in like 6 or 7 years, and that helped. And I made my own little personal goals that have been helping. But just those 3 things, like just talking, small house chores and stuff like that, and setting up goals for yourself has helped me tremendously. Also, another thing that's good to know is that maybe you got out of bed today, and that's all you fucking did, or maybe you didn't do this, but focus on what you did and what you did not do.
Very good point. Very good point. I've always said that, you know, if you're having the worst times in your life, and one day I'll share a story where this actually affected somebody, but if you get up in the morning and the first thing, like I said, just waking up, or even go eat a bowl of cereal, go eat that bowl of Trix, and you know what, that fucking bowl of Trix might be the best thing in your whole day, but it's a small thing. When you start to appreciate those smaller things, doing those chores, the stuff that you were talking about, it makes everything so much easier, because you can see the big things coming that trip you up, but not the small things. So you start working on the small things, your life just gets a lot better. It has to, you know?
I'm so excited to be having a baby in August, like, cause you know what, yeah, it's gonna get irritating all the midnight meetings and things, but you know what, it gives me reason to get up, like, my baby is gonna live now.
Another good point, very valid. Well, J-Bo, man, I know you gotta get the kids back. We appreciate you coming on, and I'm not gonna lie, I saw you going through some stuff. I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna get him on the show, so I'm glad you got to come on, and I'm sure, you know, those listening, that your words were encouragement and very helpful for him today, brother. We appreciate you coming on.
Divine separatist, rhyme, divine specimen. Combined efforts, align, sublime specialist. I design refined lines as my weaponry. Trying to find destiny, God provides recipe.
I heard a lot of good information. I need to figure out how to apply it myself, so the help is there. I just have to figure out how to apply it.
Okay, so just know that I have big pages of numbers, don't be afraid to reach out to me.
Right?
I definitely will not. If you guys want me on the show again, I'm more than happy.
Oh, absolutely, brother, absolutely.
That's what's up.
I can't hear me. I know what I did.
All right, my brother.
Yeah. And I'm not sitting here blaming anybody else.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for myself either. Yo, I listen to this beat.
Have a good night.
Oh, you too, brother. Thank you.
Stupid shit that I got into. All the fucking fakeness of people that I made friends with. So now
It's hard to figure out how to get it off, huh?
Son of a bitch, grab my phone. I dropped it.
And I apologize to some of the people.
No, actually,
Still thirsty. There we go.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for people to figure out how to get off of here. That's how I trap him afterwards. But I knew he had to go, but now I do want to tell that story though. I'll talk to him later. Okay, apparently what I just said, I've been saying for a lot of time and through the years. Obviously in a deep addiction and stuff, but more of a catalyst, helping others, and couldn't help myself. A family comes in with a 13-year-old, and the lady asks me, do you remember him? I'm like, no, I don't remember him. He goes in and plays with the claw machine. And she goes, about 5 years ago, he lost his dad. And he'd been struggling with it for a couple weeks. We came in to eat at your Denny's, and you gave us that speech and were talking to us about it. You know, that kid never forgot my words and was really happy to come and tell me about it afterwards. Like, that shit hit me. I was like, damn. So, me personally, I'm glad to be able to do shows like this now, you know? Be able to get you guys on here. So I just want to share that story, like...
No, definitely, definitely. That's awesome.
I think back about that whenever I've gone through stuff, and it's always kind of helped me. Like, I don't want to let that kid down. Like, he went through some fucked up shit. Like, he was still pushing through. Happy 13-year-old. He's probably in his 20s now, but if you happen to be listening, kid, rock on, dude. You know, I'm proud of you. Alright, what else we got for tonight? You guys want to get some more statistics? We got some...
Honest with you, like I said, like I talked earlier, I gotta take off. I got this new job. I gotta take up here.
Yes, it has been an hour.
Yeah.
That's right. Statistics don't go nowhere. I still got them.
Right. That's right. So, with that being said, as far as like any last statements.
I think before you go, we need to touch bases on here. We're not doing this every week anymore.
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna do that after I got done with the statement.
Okay.
But yeah, so the plan. So we'll do that first, just so we can get that addressed, so that I don't forget to. the thing is, as anybody who actually goes, because to what Gonzo said, you know, there's a lot of people, and I agree, yes, that girl, that everybody to a point does suffer from something, you know, whether it be anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, anger, rage, whatever the case, you know, some people go through something every day, right? But to Gonzo's statement earlier, this society has become one of the softest fucking pussies I have seen in a long time. Like, you go through any decade of history outside of the 70s, we are the softest that society has become. Maybe not the 70s, maybe the 60s and 50s. But still, like, to be in that, like, I'm missing the point. The point, what I'm trying to say, is that those who actually go through, you know, the heavy issues of, you know, rage, the heavy issues of schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, bipolar, manic depression, all sorts of fun stuff, you know, it's draining on a person, you know. And myself, I will speak for myself, but I know that Dead Girl and I have spoken, and we both have kind of agreed that you do a show like this, and you bring up these memories, you bring up these thoughts, and you bring up all this shit that just drains you out, because you're trying to make sure you can contain what's bothering and what's triggering everything that's going on with you, while still being able to give the show that the fans need. And so after these shows, when it's week to week like this, Monday comes around and I'm still fucking drained. Tuesdays, I'm still drained. I'm starting to get better, but I'm still drained. Wednesdays, well, shit, okay, I'm neither drained nor, you know, revitalized. I'm just kind of meh. Thursday comes around, I'm getting better. Friday, it's a decent day. Saturday's, all right, cool, here's the show again the next day. So, to give mine and Dead Girl's sanity a chance at all, I would like to announce that we are going to be doing a cutback on the show for a little bit. We're going to do bi-weekly. I haven't got a chance to discuss this with neither Gonzo nor Dead Girl, but I had the idea of possibly bringing in other hosts for the show, and we could start having multiple hosts for the, you know, Letters to the Living Dead. But, you know, that's something that we could definitely discuss later on.
That's kind of what we do when we bring on, like, J-Bo. We had Silent, we have, I'm okay. Every week I would like to bring on a special guest. Like, if they only want to stay on for, like, 15, 20 minutes, then we can bring 2 people on that week.
Yep. And I think he was also saying, like, on the weeks you guys don't want to do it, maybe run it with other hosts.
Yeah, exactly. On the weeks that we need off, we can have other hosts pop in, and, you know, you can get somebody else's take. Because not only is it nice to have a show like this, because I'm sure this show, had I had this growing up, I'd be glued to this fucking show like a motherfucker, because you guys would be talking about and have been talking about shit that I was questioning and didn't understand and needed help with growing up. I still do. That's why I'm part of the show. That's why I'm grateful to be part of the show, because it gives me other outlooks and other avenues and other voices that I'm hearing that are actually productive instead of destructive.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
With that, I want to personally announce, as part of Letters to the Living Dead, that until we do come upon 2 other hosts that want to take over for us in the opposite weeks that we don't want to have, so we can get our strengths back, we will be going to a bi-weekly show. That will be our schedule every other Sunday, so 2 weeks from today, but that would be, tomorrow's the 1st, so that puts next Sunday the 7th, so the 14th? Okay, so the 14th, April 14th, your favorites, JP, Living Dead Girl, Gonzo, we're all going to be back. Until then, go ahead, and these are all on the YouTube page, so you can all go back and rewatch these. Laugh at our stupidity and our knuckleheadedness, cry through the tears that we cry through, and just laugh at some of the fun, stupid shit that we even, put ourselves through in some of our stories. It's fun to laugh at ourselves once in a while too. Make sure you do laugh at yourself, but not all the time.
Right. The funny thing